Welcome back to you, baby dolls. The juiciest news is here. Bitcoin has cracked $35,000. Now, before you get super excited, and trust me, there's a lot to be excited about, I don't trust this move. Usually, when we are moving along the range here, there is some sort of like, no, it was over, and then we continue up. That's just the type of junk that crypto does. There's a lot of manipulation. It's very thin, but I still think this calls for a massive, mega intro crank. Let's go. Bitcoin, $35,000, friends. I reckon just a few more grindy sessions. But you can crank it now anyway. Bitcoin, $35,000. The psychologically important one, $37,000. That's where we are making our way to. If we go have a look at the weekly super trend, we are now pumping green after green after green, which is beautiful to see. We never flipped bearish, friends, at all. The indicators never flipped bearish. Everybody did. Remember, wrecked, timber. Also, part of the Bitcoin package comes Ethereum. Ethereum 2 is around 1840. I think everybody will get super excited if Ethereum can crack through $2,000, but it's got to get to that $2,200 area. But we are doing exactly what we want to be doing. So right now, Bitcoin dominance is going up and altcoins are now starting to kind of wait and see what Bitcoin does. This is very, very normal. If you have a look at the Bitcoin fractal, which we have here, we're actually exactly where we should be. It's kind of funny. But there are going to be a lot of these fake out zones up and down. People are going to get things wrong, going on leverage. I still think it's super important to be accumulating your bags with as much aggression as you can. This is actually what you want to see. You want to see Bitcoin disconnecting upwards, altcoins not moving, and then the rotation happen. Now, why does everybody get this wrong? Everybody gets this wrong because they are living in the past. You see, in the past, the Bitcoin dominance rises were freaking huge. Like it was just, we're going up so much. But now because Bitcoin has such diminishing gains, this Bitcoin dominance rise, it is mainly just Ethereum BTC just grinding down. That's all it is. It's not all the altcoins really getting sucked out. I think it's because altcoins have been down for way too long and there's too many community members out there who are not even thinking about Bitcoin. They're coming straight in for everything else. For example, you have ChainLink. No one in ChainLink really thinks Bitcoin layer 0 is going to be the only thing that's needed. And we can even use another great example. We have PulseChain, real DeFi. No one in PulseChain wants to go all in on Bitcoin. No one's onboarding people to all in on Bitcoin. Yes, Bitcoin's important, but the messaging, the brain activity is not focusing on it because we know it's diminishing gains, man. You're buying Max Kaiser's 35,000x bag now. You really are. Like, it's not just guessing. No, you actually are, man. Like, why Bitcoin? Why not just buy something else? You know, and they're like, no, Bitcoin's pure money. It's so decentralized. Yeah, but the neutrality doesn't do anything for you. All you get is a washed out purchasing power crash when it eventually slows down, and people are waking up to it. But it is great to see Bitcoin $35,000. We also saw the US Federal Reserve, who are, of course, Lord of the Reptilians, they kept bluffing, they held rates, and they kind of implied it's going to change soon. If you want to see what you should actually look at, all you got to do is have a look at the US 2-year rate. So if you go to TradingView, just type in US 02Y, and this is the yield. You can actually see it right now. So what I have it here, I have it on a regular chart. If we just go to like a 1 hour chart, you can see what the market reacted when they saw the Fed comments. So you can see this, the rate goes down, it is pricing in more cuts. So as you can see right now, the rate is 5.25%. Interesting, but the US 2-year, look at this, the market is like, you know what, your rate might be 5.25, but we don't believe it. The 2-year rate forward now is 4.94. So it's literally the bonds like saying, you're going to cut on, yeah, you ding dongs. That's what they're saying. And this is what we want to see because as the yields for bonds go down, it makes risk assets more attractive because people have to make up their income. So instead of having everything in bonds making a nice 5% yield, and remember they're rolling it over 1 month, 3 months, as that yield rate goes down, they're watching their income get crushed. You know, if they have $100 million at 5%, they're making $5 million a year in income. But if that rate drops from like 5 down to 3, they're like, wait a minute, I'm not making 5 million anymore, I'm making 3 million. So they have to allocate more of that 100 million in bonds. They got to start throwing it into stocks. It's a very messy game because you're dealing with such large amounts of money and the percentages are so tiny. When we're in crypto, 3%. What are you here for? 3% is a slippage to get in and out. You know what I mean? Like that's what you pay on Ethereum for gas fees. We're here for the 300%, baby. And you know what else we're here for? To keep our back straight. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button. I appreciate every single one of you. You're going to shock the algorithm. It's a family-friendly show. We are also here for the green monthly candles. If we continue green for November, we will have the 3rd green monthly candle. And yes, as much as I think it's sexy and amazing and romantic, remember, it does start to get heated there. Technically, you're in poopy land. Technically. Remember, what do I say? When you think you go up, you become poopy land, because that's how we're training our brains. When we go up, we become more expensive. As crypto goes up, as Bitcoin goes up, it is attracting crypto crappo and all the other bears who don't know what they're doing. The sidelined cucks, the people who tweet and remain in the industry to make money and siphon off everybody with VIP premium memberships, and they don't even have any allocation compared to what they did when they started, because they're sucking out money from all their followers. These people will feel the pain when they go up. And we haven't got there yet. We're starting, but not yet. There's also some news. The corrupt SEC is wasting resources on Safemoon. They're charging the executives. Now, no one has any respect for the corrupt SEC. We know they are pathetic. We know they don't know what they're doing. Well, they do know what they're doing, tongue in cheek. Of course, they're under strict instructions. Take down the crypto industry and strangle it from within. Of course, we've also seen ETH-BTC still being sluggish. That is completely normal. Nothing to be concerned about. Oh, friends, I want to let you know. You know what everyone on Twitter is saying? Everybody on Twitter is calling Ethereum trash. Everyone. Because of this ETH-BTC. You know, it's funny. Like, hello, you're calling it trash? You look what's up, man. Ethereum, like, friends, I'm not doing the whole Richard Hart from the bottom to the top. This is from the ICO. From the ICO, you were like down here or something. From the ICO, you're up 40x against Bitcoin. Okay, not like, oh, you got in and then it dropped and it came in round trip, but if you measured from the bottom, no. Like straight out bang. Ethereum high value, and it's still getting abused. I'm telling you, it's all about the candles. Look at this. We change it to a monthly. Look what happens, friends. 1, 2, 3. We are now on the 4th red monthly candle for Ethereum, even though it actually hasn't moved that much anywhere. Okay, 22% is nothing in crypto. But people have lost their minds. Why? Because the number of candles is important. Once something, because humans, what do we think of? We think of linear terms. Linear, meaning if it's like red for like 2 or 3 candles, okay, it's going to be red for another 2, 3, 4 more. Linear terms, monthly candles. That's why it's really important. And then guess what? When it goes green, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Remember to keep accumulating your sexy bags, friends. You know, you have Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. I believe they are ready. If ChainLink is also grinding $11.50. This is Pulse, by the way. We're still grinding along the zone. I'll change it to a log chart. I mean, we got a long way to go still. But hey, that's what you want. It means it's cheap. That's cheap. That's very, very cheap. This is the combined Hex. Hopefully, it's making a continuation of on that grind upwards. That's what we want to see. Combined Hex is 2.2 cents. I believe the first target is 5, because that's around where we were when the PulseChain launch happened. 5 cents. That also marks minus 90% down. Now remember, this is combined Hex, so minus 90%. So the real target is actually 13 cents, because that is the price discovery new high. That's actually us leaving the range zone, leaving the depression zone. That's actually the real target. And we got to get there fast, friends. I'm not joking. We got to get there really fast. Bitcoin's already 35,000 tapping. Now, we've got time, but like it's running out of time. Like when Bitcoin's 40 to 50K, we can't be screwing around under 13 cents if you are of the belief that we're going to get $1 plus and higher targets, and we're all going to get 300x in Pulse, PulseX, and Hex. If you are of that camp, you can't be hanging around this zone forever. Unless you get what Cardano got, which is there was 1 month where Cardano went plus 800% in 2021. Literally a 9x in 1 month. Now, remember, it started off with a much smaller base and Ethereum was cranking as well. Are we going to get that? I mean, that's a big call to make. So I want to show you what I'm talking about here. Look at this chart. Chainlink doing the nice chart. Disbelief turns into hope. Let's crank the music again, all right? Look at this chart. You see this? Range forever, and then pop up. We saw this is the famous range. Now look at this. It's the exact same thing here. Ranging forever, and then pop. You see that? That's exactly what it looks like Chainlink is doing. Hopefully, that's all we're doing, speculating. Hopefully, it keeps going up. It can screw around. We want it to go much higher. I would love it to go much higher. I would love it to absolutely crank and go on its own run. Why? Because it's free money. Because if look, friends, do you know the power if your coin disconnects? Do you know how rare that is? It's a unicorn. Because if your coin disconnects, once it hits euphoria, no one else is moving, which means you have a free rotation. That means like if you made like, let's say nothing's moving and then your coin does like a 5x, you know how big that is? You can then rotate that into another core, a full-on core. Like you might rotate your Chainlink. You might go, hey man, Chainlink's literally up 5x from $6 to $30 and nothing else has moved. You can then rotate that same to Pulse. And imagine Pulse then goes and hits your like top league movement of like 30x now. From 5 times, then you get a 5 times 30, you got 150x on the multiplier when everybody is just crying about 10 and 20. That's why it's so important if you can get a disconnection going. Now, obviously, look, it's almost not worth your time. You're not going to find it. No one was talking to me about Casper. Probably like one person out of like 4,000. So, you know what I mean? Casper went on 100x last year and continuing. So, do you see? It's so hard. It's nearly impossible. It's almost not worth your time. But if you're lucky to get it, you got to take advantage of it. You also got to be careful, friends. This is Dave Ramsey.
Best time to buy a house in the next 5 years. Right now.
Wrong.
And here's why. Okay? Prices are not going to go down.
Wrong.
Some of you are saying, well, I'm going to wait for prices to come down. You're not going to get them.
Yeah.
They're not coming down.
Yeah.
Okay? They're going to go up slower.
This is complacency, friends. You see the Wall Street cheat sheet I just showed you? So this is Dave Ramsey, one of the most famous like that guys. You know, God bless him, tries to help a lot of people, but nah. No. I know it's a widowmaker to go against the property market, but my gosh, not this time. I'm telling you, this is the dangerous one. There's literally no more hands out there left. None. It's just, you're just down to the fundamentals of like, okay, I literally need to move into a place. That's it. But things can only get worse from here, friends. You got to understand the unemployment rate is at the lowest. So literally things can only get worse. People can only lose their jobs from me. It's like if there's companies out there, they're maxed out. They have 1,000 employees and they can only hire 1,000. That's what basically the unemployment rate. It's so low. So they can only go from 1,000 down to like 850 employees. They can't go from 1,000 to 1,200 anymore. It's done. So this is why it's complacency. You can tell that big, low, high complacency from the Wall Street cheat sheet. It's no, it's fine. And they don't believe it. They don't believe it because, look, you can't take rates from 0 to 5%, hold them for this long, and all the retailers out there not to feel any pain. Friends, there were people in Australia doing the most stupid do-it-yourself renovations you've ever seen, wasting 40 grand on random stuff here and there. They got no idea, but you know what they think in their mind? They think it's like adding to their bags. It's like, oh, no, that's okay. Like, I added to my bags. You know, my house was $1 million, but then I did a $40,000 renovation, so now it's worth like 1.2 million on the street. No, it's not. Okay, you're gonna see what it's worth when there's no bids because everybody's lost their job. Because that's what the Fed wants. The US Fed, they literally said we need a house reset. You know, they said this literally in 2022. They said you are going to need a house reset. Chairman Powell said that. Cuck Powell. No one took note of it. Why? Because they're in complacency. Because they're still living off the euphoria from the past 13 years of up only. So now that someone's told them, hey, we're going to turn the market around for you, you're going to get destroyed. No one's paying attention. That's why it's super important to be aware of complacency. So as Bitcoin moves up, friends, I want you to take note. There's going to be more meme coins coming out. There's going to be more coins, more DEXs, more pools, new innovation, mid-curve DeFi. And you got to be careful because you really got to understand the community. Is there a community? And trust me, people tweeting about it on Twitter is not a community. You got to feel them. You got to smell them with consent. Of course, you also got to appreciate the angel music. So this is PoorPleb chart. Now, PoorPleb chart. Now, this was just me posting a few hours ago. So it's not exactly this chart now. It's just dunked a bit down. But look, it's interesting though. PoorPleb was up 600% against Pulse since June. I'm still holding it. Of course, I'm still holding it. Zero utility meme coin. How about that? Now, I did the PoorPleb sacrifice, and I spammed everyone week after week. I told everybody to do it. Everybody did it. I'm still holding it. It looks cool. I like it, okay? But Pulse is still Big Daddy, and don't forget, Bitcoin and Ethereum are still bigger daddy to Pulse, so that's important. So a lot of people right now, they might be playing on the 9-inch yield farms. And if you notice something as well, 9-inch yield farm, the yields have collapsed. So what's going on? Well, like this is the harsh part you just got to learn. See, friends, you're not as safe as you think, okay? You're not as safe as you think. So 9-inch is the DAO token. It's like cake, right? So you got to hold it. But here's the thing, man. I'm just telling you now. Don't trust anyone. What I mean by that is there are people who, see, we used to think if people enter an ICO or a sacrifice and then they wait a long time, I used to think that all their life expenses would be covered by them selling other things, selling stuff around the house, using their wages of their job, selling their Bitcoin, their Ethereum, even their Hex or something else. I used to think that. And that's a good theory. You know who else used to think that? Richard Hart. Richard Hart used to think that too, until we got our asses handed to us so hard. It's embarrassing how hard we got it handed to us, okay? So that was a noble theory. It makes so much sense logically. Unfortunately, it's not right. What I've noticed is it's the mind of the market. Now, you can look at two perspectives. You can either, but it's the same conclusion. One perspective is you believe that people's life expenses build up and they have a ticking timer on the bags they want to sell upon release, number one. Or number two, we just think, okay, the market has to consume enough souls. It has to rinse people out. Okay, so it doesn't even matter how you approach it, but it's the same conclusion. And the conclusion is whatever everyone's cost price is, bang. Now, I don't know how low this is going to go. Maybe Lightning just goes up straight from here, but I'm just telling you, around the cost price, look, people must get rinsed. And it's not everybody who believes, it's the bottom 5% of trash, scum, subhuman filth, the cowards. You need the cowards out. You can't go up with the cowards still in. They are non-believers. And unfortunately, Bitcoin, Ethereum, even freaking the stock market, there are non-believers everywhere, friends. You know this. For example, look at everybody on your street. Imagine you had to quickly escape off a boat. You can't trust everybody on your street. No way. You already know the bottom 30% are going to be flops. Okay, so unfortunately, it's the same thing with markets. And because it's so thin, it's sad. I know. Because for 10 people, 9 are holding strong and believe. It's that one person, right? Now, really, the real number is like out of 20, it's like 2. There's 2 cockroaches, but it is what it is. So you're watching, when you're watching the 9-inch yield farm, like what I said, with these yield farms, it's not as safe as you think, okay? Because logically, what people believe is they go, well, okay, the market's going up. So if Bitcoin's going up, then Pulse is going up, which means anything linked to it should just go up even more, right? Logically, yes, it seems like that, doesn't it? Which means 9-inch will definitely go up. You know, that's what they're thinking in their mind. And the BBC, which is the inflation dump token, okay? The unfortunate reality is, even with all these logical things working to basically blow you from behind, no pun intended, okay, and just be the wind beneath your wings, it all makes sense. But in reality, there must be a purging of the weakness. And now you're watching it right now. So this is the BBC, the big bonus coin, okay? So you're just going to watch. Unfortunately, this is what happens, friends. It breaks my heart, but the biggest holders, you go to them and look at them and go, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. You are getting inflation. I don't trust you for 1 second. I know you're dumping that inflation. I don't even have to check the wallets. I know you are. I know they're going to wreck it. That's just what happens, man. That's what happens. So there's limited resources for everybody, and you need new people coming in. Now, same thing with everything else in crypto, right? But Now you get to see, this is why Hex had some dangerous problems, right? Of 10 to 15% inflation unlocks coming out and then everyone getting rid of them and principal and everything adding, right? It's super, super rough. So now you're seeing different perspective on these things. Now, what fixes all of these? Well, of course, what fixes all of these is more green candles from Bitcoin and a rising price sentiment. But traditionally, this is just me, okay? When you don't have to worry about anything is when Bitcoin's breaking the all-time high. 3 out of 3 times. We are not there yet. We're entering Bitcoin halving year. So there are runs, there are opportunities, but it's not buy at any price and hold for any amount of time. It's not that type of mentality yet. That is thrill and optimism, okay? So you can actually see that in the Wall Street cheat sheet, okay? So if the move, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, bang, 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 that's the combination you want. They're the monthly candle combinations, but we're not there yet. Bitcoin is still in disbelief and hope, rinsing back and forth, back and forth. We still have more to go, all right? So for example, and of course, like you probably want to know, okay, well, how do we even know this? Well, I'll tell you right now, we know. If I send Bitcoin back down to 26K, you are scared out of your mind and you're out. You don't even believe in crypto anymore. You see that? But if Bitcoin's 80K and I send it back down to 60, half of us don't believe. Half of us are like, we're still going 100. You see what I mean? It's because you broke that all-time high of 69K, but we're not there yet. So what do you do and how do you interpret these? Well, I'm just telling you just to be careful and please only use lottery amounts of money. That's why I still say 90 to 95% core. Keep doing it. Now, look, I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting. Now is not the time to go out and start spending your core. It's not, okay? The core still has to rise. So this is why, for example, 9-inch, great decks. Hopefully it gives even Richard Hart a kick up the bum to update PulseX if you can. But at the end of the day, you still need the core things to line up first. Even Pulse, right? I mean, Pulse is a core for 9-inch, right? Which is funny, but Bitcoin is the spear. Bitcoin's the real spear. So we are making ground, but like I said, friends, along the way, people are going to let you down, man. They're going to let you down. They're going to let you down. They're in your pools. They're holding your coins. They're on the websites with you. They're in their community. They will let you down, okay? That's why you need unshakable belief. So if you are believing in this long term, I think it's great. They found a product market fit. They found the target market. They're going to get the meme coin guys in and everything else. But with the meme coin emotional upside comes, no pun intended, the emotional downside. That's why if you're in, you say, all right, I know it hurts today, but I'm not caring, okay? I'll worry about this when Bitcoin trades at $69,000. That's the goal. That's actually how you make it through these. And it's fantastic to see, right? So even here, even when I show you here, right, it was a 1-year anniversary for PP. And it started off 0 utility meme coin, and in 1 year it's grown into the exact same 0 utility meme coin. So it's done nothing, but hey, it's held up value. And it's done great. So I'm just sharing with you, okay? This is how people speculate. We go, well, look, why am I saying PoorPleb give me good vibes? I'm not saying to buy it, okay? I'm not saying for buy it, no financial advice. Go buy government bonds, okay? See you like that, okay? I'm just telling you, when it comes to these, you got to think about, all right, halving's coming. I believe Bitcoin will trade at $69,000 at some point. Will we survive until we get to that point? That's how you got to think for every community. Pulse, PulseX, Hex, Ethereum, ChainLink, everything. Okay, you got to answer that question. Not, I want it to survive. No, will you survive? Now, I believe, obviously, with PoorPleb, we've survived the worst of the worst of the worst. Same as Hex and PulseChain, etc. Of course, we're going to be around. So this is just the answer that you've got to answer for yourself. This is the thing you got to answer for yourself when it comes to these, okay? So you might look at these as a different light. So PoorPleb, 0 utility meme coin, fun. And remember, it's the same founders, same creators, bigger team here as well. You just got to think about things like if you are speculating on the BBC, which is the inflation dump token, those are the things you have to think about. You go, okay, I am in the token. When are the upgrades going to come? I'm uncertain about that. There's higher volatility. These are the things you got to measure. But that's why I tell you, all of your problems get solved if you have lottery bullets. All of them. And I promise all your problems get solved. If you have core size bullets, oh, now you're in some world of hurt. But at least you know the answer, right? This is how everybody's going to muck it up. But you won't because you're my friend. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Appreciate every single one of you. Catch you very soon.